I said, no running, right? We made a pact. There's no back door. In this case, there ain't no front door. You ain't running anymore. We're going to sit and figure out whatever we need to fix and so forth. To me, like family is everything, you know, growing up in a household that seemingly had that, deep family unit when I was really young, but then realized how really broken it was over, a number of years. I was able to, I had, really good friends that their families were like super stable and super deep into, being very committed to the family unit as well. And so when my dad left, uh, just disappeared, drove away when I was 12 and didn't contact me until I was 19. And like that really screwed me up like a lot for quite a few years. And I was angry. I was really angry. I got kicked out of school a couple times for smashing a couple people. Um, in school, they pissed me off and, you know, I was just in a really bad place. And so I had real bad anger issues then. And, yeah, so family be, always was and always that dream family I always had in my mind. I made the decision to take a sabbatical when I was 12, 13 years old. Like, well, it was very clear to me when he left and I was in all that pain and anger, I was like, I will never do that to my kids. I will never, ever do that to my kids. No matter how many times, how hard it was, my wife and I joke now that we've, divorced each other a couple hundred times in our head. But we had a very specific, rule when we um, started a relationship. I was just like, no back door, no back door. Her parents were divorced. My parents were divorced. And I was like, look what it did to your family. Look what it did to mine. Um, so anyways, it was a very clear decision. Now, again, I think that's the key though, is like you make a decision and then you always have something to go back to is like, hey, no matter how hard it is, no matter what's going on in our relationship right now, we made the decision, no back door, right? Because back in the early days, my wife was like a runner, like whenever we'd get into not like running, like she liked to run, but she was a runner. Like whenever we'd get into it about something, she was just like, nope, I'm out of here. And she'd take off running out the door. Like, I'm not dealing with this stuff. Uh, and I'm the fixer guy. Like no matter what comes, like I want to fix it right now and move on. Right. That was part of my forgiveness thing back in the day was uh however much pain was going on or we disagreed or, trying to be two heads in the same household. And when things got, really hot and heavy, trying to figure out how to two very stubborn, hard-headed individual, very competitive individuals living in the same house. And I remember one time just saying to her, I was like, you go out that door, I will have those locks changed so fast, you'll never come back inside this house ever. And I said, no running, right? We made a pact. There's no back door. In this case, there ain't no front door. You ain't running anymore. We're going to sit and figure out whatever we need to fix and so forth. It took me some time to really understand how to communicate effectively because you know what? Nobody teaches this stuff. And I mean, they do now, and most people won't do it because of their pride. And maybe I wouldn't have done it because of my pride, but I know how important the relationship was to me because I didn't want to end up like my parents and her parents did. And so, yeah, before, I ever proposed, yeah, we made a pact that there's no back door, and this year in July 23rd of 2024, we're going to celebrate 30 years of marriage, which is freaking crazy. That it's gone that fast. And so, and these are by far, by far get better every year, the best years of our lives together. Best by far, not even close, to the past, right? First 5 years sucked, right? The next 5 years were, okay, but we had children and so forth. And I was heavily building the business. So, uh, family was everything, man. I had a very specific model in mind, I even mapped out, right? The first one's gonna be a girl, second one's gonna be a boy, they're gonna be 2 years apart, which we did, crazy, right?